Well, thank you very much, Jean-Guy. It's great to be here. I am excited that there's so many people on board. And, man, when we put out an email, we get people from all over the world joining us. And for those of you who are in Asia and Australia, I want to thank you for being on the call. You're up in the middle of the night, and I really, really appreciate it. As Jean-Guy said, this is new. When I say this is new, I believe that there is a missing link, and what I'd like to do today is talk to you about that. Many of you know my story where I went from poverty to earning over $1 million in a single year while I was in my 20s. I got a mentor, and I did what he said, and for the past year or so, I've been really reflecting on the best way for me to help other people. I have been sort of semi-retired. I've been not very public. As I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do when I grow up and what am I going to do to leave a lasting mark on this world. And what I have found is that I want to spend my life helping people change their behavior. You see, it's not more knowledge that people need. It is more action, behavior change, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. I'm going to try and do something. Let me see if this will work. Let me see if I can do this. There's a big difference between listening and learning. Just think about it. You go to class, you listen to information, and you think you know something because you're listening. But I have found that there is a huge difference between learning and listening. You see, in one of them, you gather information. In the other, you internalize knowledge. In one of them, you think you know it because you can remember, write, and repeat it. So you think you know it because you can remember it, write, and repeat it. What I have found is there's a huge difference between knowing something and doing something. I want to spend the rest of my life showing you and helping you do something. See, most of you know what to do because you've been to seminars, you've bought the books, you've hired the coaches, you've been to the conferences, you've watched the DVDs, listened to the MP3s, you've worked in groups, you've done all these various things to acquire knowledge, but you're not doing it. And that is a big concern to me. And I believe that in the area of marketing, in the area of personal development, it is even more significant. As I have talked to people from around the world, I have become convinced that they don't need to go to another seminar. They don't need another blast of knowledge. What they need is they need to get off the couch and start doing something. And I have found some ways in which I can show people working with them over the long term on how to change your behavior. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. So I've got a lot of things that I'm going to cover, and I'm going to move very fast. But my area of expertise is in the area of money and marketing. I have helped people, myself and my partners, put over $100 million into my bank accounts and that of my partners. So I'm very familiar with what to do in terms of generating revenue, and that is because I personally have gone from a person who just sits on the couch and listens to a person who learns truly and moves into action, and that doing changes my results. That's what we're going to talk about. But we're going to talk about that in the area specifically of marketing and talk about it in the area of building a business. That's my area of expertise. In fact, for some time now, I have been talking to people about the shifts in the mind of consumers. Just think for a second how people are different today. Are they more or less skeptical, consumers? Are they less or more knowledgeable? Are they more trusting or less trusting? Are they more bombarded with marketing messages or less? I think you'll agree with me when I say that the consumer today is different than the consumer of 5, 10, 20 years ago. And if you're using the same strategies you've always used to build your business, you're going to have a tough time because the consumer mindset has changed today. They don't respond to the same types of strategies like yelling at them, bold, loud, splashy, gimmicky type things that they did before. What they want today is they want attraction marketing. They want somebody to draw them in because they're different, because they're credible, because there's an authority sense about them, and they want trust today. And I have found understanding this changes your business for the better. We all pretty much agree with the notion that a small number of people are going to give us most of our business. 20% of the population will give us 80% of our income. However, most people, small business owners today, are trying to build their business from the bottom up. They spend forever and spend all of their money and their time going after the unknowns. And what's unknown is people's predisposition to buy what you're selling. I want to show you how you can take the known marketplace. Those people are most likely going to buy your products because you do know that in the next month, year, few years, people will buy your product or service. And so those known people are the people you ought to focus on. And what I'm going to do in my marketing programs is to show people how to make them come directly to you. How does that sound to you? Where you can stop chasing customers and make them come to you. I can talk to you about an article I wrote one time that's entitled "Selling is Like Kissing," because I believe that you can make a correlation between the game of selling and the game of kissing. You know, you can't kiss somebody who's backing away from you. The best kissers are always leaning forward. Well, think about that in terms of the sales game. In terms of the sales game, most people today are trying to sell to people who are fundamentally backing away from them. So they go to networking meeting after networking meeting, trolling for prospects. They're knocking on doors. They're cold calling. They're trying to find somebody who will possibly buy their stuff. And that doesn't work today. So all of my marketing philosophy could be narrowed down to this idea of selling is like kissing. And I want to make people who are most likely going to buy your product come directly to you. Doesn't that sound like a good philosophical way to build a sales and marketing and entrepreneurial venture? Well, why doesn't it happen? I've asked probably 2 million people. How many of you would say that you got into your own business, got into sales and marketing because you had the potential to control your time and the unlimited income potential? And almost everybody says that, yes, one of those two factors is what helped you decide why you got into sales and marketing or running your own business. Yet almost, and I asked them, how many of you are actually controlling all your time and making the kind of money you want to make? And almost nobody does it. But my seminars are always full. I got people today in this webcast from all over the world. I've spoken to 3 million people, for Pete's sakes. There's no shortage of people going to seminars, no shortage of money, of people in those seminars, buying courses, going to conferences, listening to tapes, buying all the paraphernalia, attending the symposiums, panels, buying coaches and consultants and all kinds of people to try and help them Yet almost nobody is putting their hands up saying, look, I'm making the kind of money I want to make, and I'm in total control of my time. Why is that, folks? Why is that? I spent the last year thinking about that question primarily. And what I'm going to be introducing to you a little bit later is what I believe is the missing link. I have identified what I believe is the reason most people, you included, folks, most of you are not doing the things that you have paid to learn. Most of you have gone to courses. If you just think of how much money you have spent in the past 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, some of you, to improve your business, and yet you're not even doing it. People have told me recently that they have bought CD programs or, tapes and all this sort of stuff, and yet they haven't even listened to it. And they're not cheap. I talked to a guy the other day who went to this, I don't know, some Fox seminar or some stupid thing. He paid $15,000, and that was the guy's low-end product. But he isn't doing it. So let's look at today. I'm going to give you some philosophical ideas on why I think that is, and let's just see if you can identify with some of this. So first of all, there is the 9 laws, motivational laws, because what gets us going? Well, we have to be motivated to motivate others. So you can't motivate anybody if you can't motivate yourself. If we're in the sales game, my goodness, you've got to be motivated in order to do this. So you've got to, the first law is you have to have this in your own life, and you can't fool people with this. The next one is that motivation requires a goal. Just think about this. It's impossible for any individual, or for that matter, any team or group of people, to be motivated without a clear and specific goal. Motivation, as I've already said, is about striving towards the future, and without a goal, there is no purpose. And so we know that apathy can creep in when there's no hope. All of us must have hope. We must be looking forward to something, and that's why you need goals if you're going to be motivated. The next law is, and this is really crucial, folks, you need to understand this. Motivation, once established, never lasts. I mean, just think about it. It's common sense, but most people don't know it. I mean, you just think about this, of how many seminars that people have sent people to try and pump them up, get them all excited. They do all kinds of things to get people going. There's contests and all kinds of things to keep them motivated. And yet, I can clearly tell you how demotivated people are in a couple of days or a couple of weeks when there is little to no change. And I think that's what I mean when I say you don't need to go to more seminars. And I think that I'm not being facetious here. I'm saying that seminars in and of themselves don't work because they don't last over the long term. They provide mood change, but not behavior change. Motivation, once established, never lasts. The next one is Law 4. Motivation requires recognition. This is a powerful law. You want to have people around you who are motivated. You want to be motivated yourself. There is a need within all of us to be recognized. And I think that it takes a big person to give another person a compliment and keep motivation alive in your life. So if you do not have some structure in place that recognizes your positive experiences, your change in behavior, the motivation will go away. And I bring this up specifically because entrepreneurs often are challenged with, how do I keep going when I'm not getting any recognition? The next one is similar to it. But Law 5 says that participation is a motivator. You know, there's a lot of things out there where as entrepreneurs, we don't have a lot of people around us, especially if we're a solo. But when you feel part of something, when you feel part of a project, and that's what this webcast is all about. I'm putting together a group of people. Now, we've got 169,000 people in my database. But I'm putting a select group of people together in this beta group as I introduce this Missing Link program, where you are going to participate in a group of people so that you can become much more motivated. People are motivated in groups. So I want to work with a small group of people to help you sell yourself, sell your ideas, get you excited about significantly altering your results. And I say that not out of white tower experience. I'm all about generating huge, huge returns. One of my partners was making about $4 million a year when I met him, and when I stopped working with him about 5 years later, he was generating about $20 million a year. So I know something about how to create a participative group that keeps you motivated. The next thing is, seeing ourselves progressing motivates us. And this is a key thing. I want you to keep these things in mind as I explain what our program is in a few minutes, because I know that when you see yourself moving forward, you're going to stay motivated. And what I want to do more than anything else is not just so much change the motivation, but change the behavior. And it's the consistent altering of behavior over time that will do that. You've got to be able to see yourself progressing. And when you see the things that we're going to bring to that as this small beta group, you're going to see why we're so excited. Another thing is, challenge only motivates if you can win. And so we have set up this program so everybody in the program can win. Somebody said that a challenge will only motivate a person if they think they have a chance to succeed. Everybody who joins my beta program, I'm telling you, will have a significant opportunity to change their behavior, which we all know will change their results over the long term. Challenge does motivate, and I'm going to challenge the socks off of everybody who joins this program, because I know you're going to rise to the occasion. I know that you're going to do something worthwhile with your life, with your business, and you can. And I want to be the person who makes that difference. One person can make a challenge that'll change your life forever. The next one is that everybody has a motivational fuse. So this law says that everybody can be motivated. They may have the fuse, but they don't know at what point it will ignite. So what I'm going to do is talk to you about how I personally can find your fuse and light that thing to get you moving in the direction of the things that you know will help you. And I know that I can do that because that's essentially what I'm giving my life to doing. That's my purpose. Everybody has a fuse, and they can be sparked into action. And that's what I want to do. And the last law is group belonging. So belonging to groups motivates. And that's why with this program, I'm putting together a group of people who become part of a beta group, as I mentioned before, and it's the importance of people having a feeling of belonging. And you're going to be part of a group of serious entrepreneurs who are looking to significantly be challenged to change their life, change their behavior, which in fact changes their results. Don't think that this is not a powerful motivator for you. But when I think of all these 9 laws, I keep going back to the fact that so many of you have thrown so much money down the toilet learning these things. I haven't said anything new to you today. Think about it. I haven't. The problem is you have been to webinar after seminar, after conference, after coach, after consultant, after this guru and that guru and this sweat lodge and that seminar and this big deal and that big deal, following the masses. But for many of you, it's been like throwing money down the toilet. And if I could ask you right now, do you feel that way? Most people would say yes. They've thrown away money on everything from regular conferences to networking meetings. Heck, they've even gone to these firewalk seminars. I know, because I was one of them. And you walk on fire, and there's thousands of people there, and Tony's doing an awful great job getting you pumped up, and you're so fired up. By 12 o'clock at night, you're pretty much brain dead. You'll follow anything the guy says, and you walk across a bed of coals. Holy smokes! Woo! You know what the problem is? Next Monday morning, and the visa bill comes. Well, where is that firewalk motivation then, folks? How many of you have been to these fandangle seminars where you break boards and put arrows in your throat and play games and do incredible things and learn a major amount of stuff, feel great and dance and sing and throw the beach balls around? But does that change mood, or does that change behavior? See, what I want to do is change your behavior. Well, we're creating a program using a model like this to identify the various places in your life so we can measure, scientifically measure where you are in terms of the behavior in all of the important categories in your life, apply that to your business, and watch the increase over time. See, mood change happens in an instant. Bam! You're moving forward. You're getting excited. I make you laugh. I make you cry. I get you to jump. I get you to walk on coals. That changes your mood like that. But behavior change, changing you in terms of how you act, and make you consistent in putting into practice those tools and strategies that you know will help you make more money, that requires time, commitment, persistence. So what I found is that no matter who you are, it is possible to make those changes, but you got to be willing to do something. You got to be willing to ask the questions, the tough questions. So for example, one of the things that I did, I got a surprise of my life last year when I believe it was in June, I asked people a series of questions. I surveyed my list, I stayed up all night, and I read the response. Now, I got 169,000 people in my list, so a whack load of them responded to my survey. I was so blown away. I asked them what did they want, what was their method of learning, and what was their problems. And some of you have been the recipient of that crappy video I did in my backyard, because I thought it had to be glitzy and and slick and everything. People didn't find that. I had more response from that crappy video I did in my backyard without shaving, with a t-shirt on, than I had from almost anything else. So that saved me millions. But what it told me more than anything else, one of the questions I asked is with regard to personal development, so training, what are you most interested in? And people said that they're interested in making money. Well, I know that to make money, you've got to have a mentor and do what they say. That's what I did. I got a mentor, and he helped me raise my income so fast, so furiously, it almost made my head spin. Well, then I asked people, what method of delivery do you want? And it came down to very practical things. They like live webcasts. And so the people who you're going to see in a minute, that one of the things we're going to do in solving these issues is provide you with a quarterly live webcast, a full day with me, either live in a webcast or for anybody who wants to come to Toronto every 90 days to get focused. And the other thing that said, and this was not news to me, but that they wanted very practical tools, checklists, how to build a business, what exactly do you have to do? And I asked them lots of questions. You know, if you could leave a seminar with 3 things, what would you say? Or what would you want them to be? What is your biggest challenge or problem professionally that you would like to overcome? And almost across the board, it was consistency, change in my behavior. And so what we did is we created a program whereby you could cash in on what I learned. Like, just think about this. So I've had several mentors. If you look at my financial mentor, I've been in the business now for 25 years in this business. So I just didn't start last week, folks. I've been at this for a long time. And I look at my income today at 25-year mark compared to my mentor's income when he was at the 25-year mark, and I'm millions of miles ahead of the guy. Why? Well, it's because I learned from his experience. I was able to avoid the pitfalls because I was willing to do whatever he said. And most of you listening to this today who've gotten up in the middle of the night, those of you from Australia and from Asia, those of you who are right now in the middle of the evening in Europe, and my friends in England and Poland, and my friends from Budapest who are on this call listening to this, you know you're serious. You know you could be doing better. Why aren't you? Listen, you can learn real answers to these tough questions. People I know today want more than anything else. They want to stop the motivational psychobabble bullshit, and they're tired of the fluff and the hype. They want practical world experiences. That's what I want to offer. And more than anything else, they want education to last. Here's the kicker right here, is I have found in my life that my results changed when I had a mentor hold me accountable. Folks, that is the missing link. When you've got somebody who's willing to hold you accountable to what it is you say you do over the long term to change your behavior in the area of marketing and money, that's what happened to me. That's what's happened to the thousands of people I've worked with. And I know that the people who are most serious are listening to this today. Nothing happens by accident. And so in a minute, I want to introduce you to my Missing Link 24-month program. Before I do that, I need you to see and understand a few points. The first one is, key point, is that you do have a missing link. I know this. You have a missing link because you know that you don't do what you know. Think about it. You know you should be doing different types of things, and you start them for a while, but they never last. That's the difference between low income earners and huge income earners. Jean-Guy Francoeur, who introduced me today, he's the author of The Messy Manager, and if you haven't gotten a copy of that, go to his website, messymanager.com, and pick it up for free. He said he will tell you, and he demonstrates every single day, that in order for him to make the huge money that he does, he's got to move in action. But he doesn't question it anymore. Why? Because he has a mentor who holds him to the fire to do the things that he says he wants to do. Now, you got to have clear and measurable goals. You got to be willing to move out of your comfort zone. Seriously, most of you need to have to get off the couch and do more with what you have in life, and find out why you're not doing stuff. You got to move into massive action. Now, I'll tell you something about goals. If they're not measured, they can't be managed. You got to get off the couch, folks. I've got something here that'll blow your mind to help you do that. Key point number 3, if you could have done it alone, you would have done it already. And people are always asking me, how can I get a mentor? How can I get somebody holding me accountable? I'm going to show you a program that'll help you do that in just a minute. See, what you need more than almost anything else is a good, swift kick in the pants. That's what you really need. You need to look at where you are. You need to get somebody who doesn't care about being your friend or not, somebody who understands the power of radical accountability. Now, most people can't handle radical accountability. But I'll tell you something, there's a huge value if you do. Like if you put into practice just 10% more of what you already know, man, your life would change so dramatically it'd make your head spin. But you got to be willing to let others help you. And the value of having people help you is the speed of progress by which you change is significantly altered. I mentioned about how my income at 25 years was significantly higher than my mentor's was. That's because I had somebody help me. Every area of my life where I have grown is because somebody has helped me. Now, as I mentioned to you, I've surveyed lots of people about this, and here's what they tell me. Almost 95% of the people say that what they want, if they want help with marketing, motivation, mindset, and mentorship, they want specific action or game plans. They want it to be step by step, so it's not confusing and, you know, do this and don't do that, and do this, then do this. Most of you who are listening to me right now say to me, if you just tell me what to do, I'll do it. Like, go do this, and then come back. Go do that, then come back. Go do this, now do this, now do this. That's what I want to provide in this Missing Link 24-month program. I want to give you all of the action plans. I'm going to show you more about that in a minute. The next thing is I want to change your behavior. They tell me that they want to change their behavior and they're ready for accountability. Not really. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes to be held accountable. So here's what I want to offer today. As I mentioned to you, I'm putting a beta group together. There is some requirements. There is a cost. I'll talk about that in a second. But if you look at your return on investment, how much it costs for you to find a new customer, if we were working together in this group, how many new customers could you get? So what I want to do is invite you into this group. I want to tell you that there is some requirements. You're going to have to perform according to a plan. You're going to have to give us video testimonials and allow us to use your information and videos and so on in our marketing. Of course, it has to be if you agree with it, but I'm going to offer this at a fraction of the price that we open this to the public. You'll be able to start today, but if it takes you a long time to decide, I don't want you in this program. I've found that if it takes somebody a long time to decide, it's going to take them a long time to do anything, and this beta group has to make this thing work. So I want you to ask yourself, does it make sense? If I gave you my best strategies from my mega clients, past clients have paid me $1.6 million, another one $750,000, many at $250,000, many at $100,000, 250 people paid me $56,000. If I gave you all of that information and strategies, what could that do for your business? What could you do with some of my tools, my resources, my contacts? And then the kicker is this. What if you had me as your drill sergeant? You see, I think you have a mentor who gives you a pat on the back when you've done good, hugs you when you need a hug, but then knows how to put a kick in your pants when you need it, and that's my job. See, I don't need any more friends. I'm not doing this so that you'll love me. I don't care if you like me or not. What I want to do is make you a person of action, and it takes time. I do tell people that in business today, there is the need for a risk reversal, so you should always offer a money-back guarantee. Not such a thing here, folks. This is a 24-month program with no refunds. If you're not serious about this, I don't want you in the program. I'm going to offer this like crazy, and I'm telling people right up at the front that there's no refunds because I know I will do my job. The issue is, will you? So let's look at this program. It's sort of complex, and I'm just going to give you a brief overview of it before we go through much more detail if you qualify. And so I'm not selling anything on this webcast other than the notion that you could apply to see if you qualify to get into the beta group. My Missing Link 24-month program has several components to it. Let me go through them very quickly, and then we'll be done. So first of all, it has to do with radical accountability process that we have developed and a software system where we help you identify the gaps in your behavior. We quantify those so that we can measure scientifically where you are and where you want to go, rectify your behavior that misses the gap so that you have 100% compliance. And there's a serious way by which we do this. Let me just show you quickly the software. Now, I don't have time to go through this, folks, in extensive detail. Let me just make sure everybody can see this okay. Jean-Guy, can you see this okay? Yeah, there you go. Okay. So our software program, although I don't have the time to demonstrate it fully today, what we're going to do is we'll create a series of active goals, tasks that are associated to those goals, make them into calendar, put them directly in your calendar. We'll work on a few habits. You'll have the opportunity to journal and watch your report. So, for example, this is what you're looking at right now is the dashboard. So every day I can measure the progress of my goals that I set out. Down here, I can see the tasks that are associated. So I can see that there's material that in my case, I'm late on. There's things that I got to work on this. I have some things that are due today. And I can look at the habits, the 3 habits that I'm working on, and see how the green here is filling up. That is because our goals, our habits program is phenomenal. So what you're going to do in the habits program, you'll see here, you'll be able to list every day how you're doing with these specific habits. So every day you'll come in, you'll log into the software, and you'll start ticking for each day how well you're doing. Now, do you see the green box here on the left increase? That habit is 66% formed. And so we know that certain habits require 21 days, some require 60 days, some require 90 days. And it's a very simple program. It tells us very easily. It's easy to use. You don't need a lot of training. There's all kinds of tutorial on the software. You want to know how often this seminar repeats, or how often should you repeat this particular habit in terms of a day per week. You can look at how many repetitions should it take to form this habit, because some of them are easy and some of them require more time. So 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. What category does this belong to? And then you click on Save This Habit, and it'll appear right there. Habits are different than goals. Habits are about behavior, and that's what I want to hold you to. And so we do look at goals, both short-term, long-term. You have the ability to put pictures of your goals on your thing. If you want to look at all the tasks associated with your goals, you just click on task. It'll tell you when the goals, in this case, they're overdue. All you got to do to add a subtask is simply click on the list, enter the subtask name, when is it due by. You just simply click on the calendar, pick the date that you want to have this goal, and it automatically, folks, you can put tags here, and then how long it takes for you to accomplish the goal. There's more details if you want to get like priorities and notes to yourself. You could send yourself email reminders. The system will do all of that for you. And it instantly puts those tasks directly into your calendar. Look at that. It puts it right into your calendar. Now, what you're looking at your screen right now are all of the tasks related to all of my goals. So all I've got to do, if I want to look at one goal, let's say write my book. I just click on it here. It deletes all of the other goals and just puts the tasks related to this. Well, today's the 20th, and if I'm late on this topic, I can just take it and drop it into another date. And that changes the whole system. You want to work on your goals, folks? You want to have radical accountability? This will show you how to do it. And we will work with you, you'll see, on a daily basis, a weekly basis, and a quarterly basis, and even in an annual basis to make sure that you significantly change your behavior. The software also comes with a vision board. And so you put the pictures in there that you want. In this case, this is Jean-Yves' book cover. It's the motivational thing. If you're into visualizing goals, the vision board that's on here allows you to insert all the pictures you want, create any series of albums of the things that you want. And if you start your day every day looking at what it is you want through this vision board process, which is, as you know, talked a lot about in The Secret, which is a good reminder of what it is you want to achieve. Everybody pretty much knows that if you listen to the negative, you're going to attract more of the negative, but if you think more of the positive, you'll be able to accomplish more of that. So this particular process is how you do it. And so what I want to do is make sure that you understand that this software, how do I get rid of this now? If I hit escape, just give me a second. Second. I'm not sure how to go back to that. There we go. I don't see the X. Oh, here it is. Okay. Nope. So all of these goals are part of the vision, are part of the software program, okay? So what we want is we want radical accountability. Exit full screen. There we go. This is where I want to be. Okay. So this software program is included in the system. You can reorder your goals. There's even a journal, folks. So if you're struggling and now you want to talk with our mentorship, because we're into radical accountability, let's say you're talking about writing your book. Let's say that's one of your goals. Well, you might have a problem in this area and you want to talk to your group at the end about that. Well, all you got to do is just post a new entry, click on the button, which goal is it related to, put a title, add the contents, put some things, and then post the entry so that when you are talking with your accountability group, everything's there. Then here's where it gets really sick. We have a reporting system that's just out of this world. Now, I don't have many in here, but let's just look at our active goals. The system will instantly compile that information so that when you're talking with your accountability, you come to the accountability sessions, we know exactly where you are with this particular goal. Now, this is just a sample, but it talks about why you want to have this goal, what has been completed on the goal, so that everybody can scientifically measure where they are in relation to those specific goals. And that's the power of this particular program. So let me go back here. Now let me show you this. You want to look at progress for your goals? Watch the system and it'll show you how you're doing with all of your specific goals. Now, let's say it's an income goal. I don't have it set up here, but it'll track how you're doing with your goals when you make progress. Well, so when we get together in this quarter, we're going to meet every week in a webcast. We are going to meet in person once a month, or sorry, once a quarter for a full day. And if you can't come to Toronto, we're going to have a live webcast, a simulcast, which will happen for a full day, where I will speak. I'll get you to go do some work in here, and then you will be able to then do the work and then come back in 20 minutes as part of the live webcast, simulcast. Folks, this is all part of our program. And so let me talk to you a little bit now. That's the radical accountability. Now, along with that radical accountability, let me just skip forward for a second. We also have a matrix to measure where you are in terms of on track or off track. So we've got 5 levels, level 1, 2, 3, 4, and then DEFCON 1, DEFCON 2. And that's where I believe we really shine. We have different tactics and strategies depending on where you are to motivate you to keep going. We have 123 strategies ranging from emails to you, specific assignments if you're not following through, and the level of intensity to help you comply raises with every level at where you're at. Now, this will be all behavior-based. You will rate it. We will respond with letters and phone calls and all kinds of things to move you forward and keep you motivated in the area you want. And that could involve everything from a phone call from me personally. It may be a call from other people who are being coached. It could involve the personal visit. You see, part of the idea, and this is not totally altruistic, I want to get paid. And so if you don't fulfill what you set out to do in this program, you won't last. So I've got a lot of vested interest to make sure that you finally do what you say you want to do. So let's look at that now. So we've talked about the software program. It's everything you're going to learn here is very configurable to your business and your business process. There are 4 main tracks that you will run on. Some of these, again, you need before the others. So you'll identify those areas where you have the most need, and we'll work on those first. Keep in mind, this is a 24-month process. So you're not going to get all this in the first week. I do have a library, which I'll give you access to the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars of materials that I have from everybody's program that you could imagine, and I'm going to let you look at it. I'm not charging you for that. I'm just letting you look at my library. Courses, videos, hundreds and hundreds of videos, DVDs, books, workbooks, MP3s, thousands of them, all part of the program. Now, I'm saying that the big deal with this program is this section on the bottom. It's radical accountability. That's your missing link. So let's look at the 4 components to our process. Number 1, and that is an important one, that's understanding my marketing model. So I was on the phone yesterday. We've been setting it up for me to speak in Ireland. I've spoken in Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, Argentina, all over the world, all over Europe, England. If you wanted to hire me for an hour to teach you my marketing model, it's going to cost you 20 grand. Now, I'm going to work with you not to get you more knowledge on my marketing model, but how to implement it. What exactly is a primary objective, a PO? Help you describe your target population. Help identify their needs and problems so that you can create an AMD, an attraction marketing device, or an attraction marketing event, because you're going to understand your magic number. Do you know what your magic number is now in business? Bet you don't. How much money do you make every time you find a new customer? What if I could show you how to get a lot more customers? And let me tell you something, folks, I can. This is all I've been teaching for the past 25 years. I'm really good with the planning phase of your marketing. The next model, or the next part of the model, is let me just pull that up 1 second. The next part of the model is the mindset. And so, you know, I wrote a book called The Millionaire Mindset. So I deal with mental rituals, not knowledge, but how can you improve your thinking, change and alter your programming, deal with trauma, as many of us have had to deal with in life, so that we become more consistent at doing the things that we know will help us. So we deal with the mindset track. Then we deal with the marketing track, and here's where this is worth every single part of this program. Now, I want to show you what this is. These are campaigns that companies have paid us millions to learn. I'm not only going to show you the programs, we're actually going to do it. Now, we're going to identify which one you want the most and what will help your business the most if you actually did it for a change. And we're going to look at everything from books, for example. Many of you want to write books. Well, nobody on the planet has helped more people publish books than me. All of these people that you see here, and all of these, I could go on forever, of people who have been to my seminar, who've understood that the book is a phenomenal marketing tool for them to accomplish what it is they want to accomplish in life. I'm the undisputed guy who's shown more people how to do this than anybody else on the planet. You want to write a book, folks? This thing is going to get written. How's it going to get written? It's going to get written using my system. Now that system, just so you know, I've had over 200 people pay me $50,000. That's right, $50,000, which is over $10 million, to publish a book, to learn my system. That's the same system that helped me and my partners generate over $100 million in sales into our bank account. And I have a whole home study course where I show you how to get the right book. It's called Plan It. Then I show you how to write the book. It's easy to write a book. I'm going to show you how to do it in 40 hours. I'm going to talk about publishing your book. And should it be softcover and hardcover? Should it be how do you get endorsements for your book? All those types. How much should you price it for? I'm going to show you, get this, how to fund your book. I don't think you should pay for anything. I'm going to show you how you can pre-sell the book before one word is written, and how you can raise $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60,000 by pre-selling your book. And it's a system I developed called Fund It, and I show you how to get other people to advertise in the back of your book and pay for the entire deal, including the fee to join my program. I have the next section is Move It. Because once you get the book, you got to know what to do with it. You got to get the right book. You got to get the right book that's going to help your business. You got to get it published. You got to get other people to pay for it, but then you got to get rid of it. That's all included in this program in terms of, for those of you who want to write a book, because a book is seriously one of the most powerful tools available today for you to gain expert status in the marketplace, instantly separate yourself from everybody else who does what you do, provide a phenomenal prospecting magnet to make people come to you. I show you exactly how to use it for get other people to pay for everything, and then use it to get publicity and marketing that's unbelievable. I've had some of the people who are listening to my seminars get into Time magazine, never written a book before, never had any publicity before. I mean, I have done it. When you join this program, if you're interested in wanting a book, that's one strategy. It's the most powerful that I can think of. You get that as part of this program. The other part is the newspaper program. Now, you may not want this. This may not be applicable to you, but in today's world, we see that over 74% of the people surveyed prefer to get these types of newspapers over sales letters and gimmicks. And this is a newspaper that's actually done for you. We've got an amazing process where you can create your own newspaper for you. And everybody, I'm so excited, is completely paid for by other people. It's easy to do. I've taught it, and lots of my students are using it. Imagine doing your own newspaper. Now, all of the articles are pre-written. All of the formatting is all done for you, the printing, the shipping. What you do is go and sell advertisements in the newspaper. We even show you how to do that. They put together a 12-page newsletter, which includes things like Wolfgang Puck's recipes. You just pick what articles you want, even to a crossword puzzle. Now, you could submit your own articles, which I do recommend you do for the first bit of it, so that you can start featuring yourself and you put your own ads in there. And then it costs next to nothing to do this. If that's of value to your business, we will walk you through and hold your hand, show you step by step on how to do it. In fact, everything we do is a step-by-step program. So we have campaigns, and we just say, okay, now go do this, now do number 2, now do number 3, now do number 4, pick one of the things there on number 4, and we show you how to do it step by step by step, every step along the way. That's part of the marketing track. We've got lots of strategies to help you along those lines. So let me talk now about the last one, which is sales. I have some incredible tools to teach ordinary salespeople and business owners how to close more sales. I have incredible systems on how to sell to groups. If that's applicable to you, you will have that system at your disposal. I have a system called the Winner's Circle, where 80% of your business will come from 20 relationships. I will work with you to set that up. I taught a thing called the Listen Matrix to over 5,000 people who paid me $1,500 to $2,000 each to show them my Listen Matrix and work with them. It's an incredible way. If you're having problems closing sales, this will blow your mind. And then I also specialize in for those of you who are interested in becoming coaches and speakers and trainers, consultants. I'm an expert in that area. And so a lot of our programs are related to coaches, speakers, trainers, and consultants. So if that's something that you're interested in, we've got all kinds of business models around that. All right, so let's go through some of the areas that I'm sure you're asking. Well, first of all, just to recount what you get the accountability system. Now, once a week, we are going to have a progress call on the internet like this with an assignment. So I need to know every week where you are at, and then you will email your progress report to us, and our system then will determine where you are in your gaps, and we will then apply a strategy based on your qualifying number. Okay, so we've got this matrix to help us understand where you are at. Next, you get the goals software. As part of the accountability, that's the thing that we look at. It's not so much the software as how I use it. And then you get all of the motivational techniques that we talked about to get you moving, including working together as a group, including a wall of fame, including a wall of shame. Listen, folks, I know how to move you. Some of you require gentle. Some of you require a hammer in the middle of the between the eyes. Okay, so I know that my goal is to get you doing what it is you know. Now we have a complete educational program. There will be a monthly simulcast, which will be an hour, where we pick a particular lesson and start working on that, and that will be determined by the beta group score. So we look at everybody, see where you are all at, and apply the most important strategies to that monthly simulcast. Then we have a quarterly live workshop. once a quarter. So every 90 days, you come to Toronto, or you get a live full-day seminar to refocus. Look at where you've been. Look at where you're going. Set specific time goals, specific income goals, specific time off goals. And we measure that, and we do that every single 90 days for 2 years, folks. Listen, if you work with me every week, every month, every quarter for 2 years, you're going to make some progress, I'll tell you that. Now, I give you complete library access to all my templates. I have website templates if you need a website. I'll give you all the HTML code. You just take it and give it to your designer. All of the squeeze pages are landing pages to help people move prospects down the prospect pipeline. You get all of those squeeze pages, all of the code, everything. I just give it to you. I give you blog templates, complete themes, already all done up. Private label rights. I have thousands and thousands of articles for you to use in your blogs and all kinds of things. You won't have to spend a lot of time writing original material, because this is all pre-written and pre-ghost written. All of the worksheets you get as part of my library access. You also get the home study courses, the sales mastery course, the Publish Your Way to Profit home study course with the 5 binders and 10 DVDs. You get my sales, my coach, speaker, trainer, consultant home study course, where I show you how to become and build a business in that area if you're interested. And then I have my sales social media marketing course as well, and you get all of that with all of the campaign flow charts that come out of this thing. All right. So what does it cost for all of this? Well, just think about this. Working with me 24 months with all of this, the fee that we're going to sell this to the public is $1,000 per month, and it's going to be paid quarterly. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what will happen for the beta group, provided you meet the requirements for the beta group, and that is we are going to, instead of charging you a $1,000 per month for 24 months, we are going to charge the beta group, and we're only taking a small number of you in this beta group, the people who show us the most that they're ready to do something, and that fee will be $4.99 per month. It will be paid quarterly, but because it's the beta group, I am going to give you an out, because there is some tweaking that we have to do as part of this beta group and some feedback that we're going to be looking for you. So after the first quarter, if you decide this is not for you, you can decide to get out of the program. There's still absolutely no refunds. There's lots of value that you'll be able to take out of this. But what I need you to do, and I need you to do it now, again, this is going to be on a first come, first serve basis. You need to go to this website. Go to the website on your screen right now and fill out the application. Not everybody's going to get in. Typically, people come into this situation and they either are ready, and if you are ready, you can go right now, go to that website, decide, fill out the application. Doesn't cost you anything to do that, and we'll ask you and evaluate whether you will be allowed to come in or not. We will not be making any final decisions till we've had a couple of these webcasts to get people in, get the most qualified people. We want 100% success rate for the beta group, for sure. And so if you have more questions, you will get your questions answered after you fill out the report, the application. So just go now to this webcast, http://goo.gl/7R8WQ, and you will be able to get all of your questions answered there. Well, folks, I hope that you have enjoyed this presentation. you got to move into action. You got to be willing to take your growth, your strategy, your journey to the next level. I promise you this. If you do this and work with me on this, I will do everything in my power to have your results reflect the results that I've experienced in my life. Now, I see a bunch of people already leaving to go and do it. So if you're thinking about it, folks, think of this story, and I'm going to end with this story. A man was walking down the road and he heard a dog crying. He listened to this dog crying for a couple of blocks and decided to go and talk to the man who owned the dog. And he said, "Sir, there's something wrong with your dog. I could hear him crying." "Ah, there's nothing wrong with my dog. He's just a dumb, lazy old dog." "Huh." He said, "Well, why is he crying? Is he sick?" "No, he's not sick. I told you, he's just a dumb, lazy old dog." And then he said, "Well, why is he crying? You know, what's going on? Is he retired? I mean, what's the matter? Is he backwards? Is he sick?" "No, nothing out of that." And then this is the key part here. He said, "I'll tell you why he's crying. He's crying because he's sitting down on a nail. And the nail hurts him enough to make him cry and complain, but doesn't hurt him enough to get off the nail." Folks, are you hurting enough to get off the nail of mediocrity, to get off the nail of procrastination? Bet on yourself, bet on me, to help you overcome the challenges of not making the kind of money you want to make. Spending your business chasing prospects instead of them chasing you. If you're tired of just wasting money after seminar after seminar after seminar and finally put into practice what it is you really want to do, then I invite you to go to that website right now. I want to thank you for listening to this webcast, and I hope and pray that you are a person who's willing to get off the nail and join us. Fill out the application and see if you're qualified to join us in the beta group, and I look forward to working with you. This is a whole new thing for me, but it's where my life is going, and I'm excited about presenting it to you today. So I wish you good health and good wealth. Thank you, folks.